Let's have a look here at the spell feature in Quizlet. Now, there is a bit of a health warning with this, and you'll see exactly how this, what I mean by this, as we go through this video tutorial. The key is to ensure that when you use spell, you are not asking your students to do too much. Remember, this was Quizlet was essentially set up. It's perfect for language learning and lexical items, vocab items, where there's one word in one language and the corresponding word in the target language, and it's important to be able to spell that correctly. Now, with us and for PE, particularly when you've got a lot of content in your cards, which you might well have, as you can see down here, then that makes it quite tricky. So let's just have a look at how it might not work, and then we'll think of ways in which we could turn this to our advantage so that our students can benefit from this feature. So we're going to go into spell. Straight away, you're asked to type something.
EPO.
Now, in this case, it was pretty straightforward. It was EPO, so I'm just going to put in EPO. I hit return, and you can see I've got it correct.
Benefits to the performer.
Now, it said diuretics benefits to the performer. That's quite a bit to take in. So I will try and get that right and see what happens. Diuretics benefit to the performer, and let's hit return and see what happens. So I've got that right.
EPO used in sports activities.
Now you can see there and here there's still quite a bit there that I've got to remember to write, and so it's not perfect for us. And if we don't, as a student, if we don't write it exactly as it was inputted in the card when you created the content initially, it becomes quite difficult and potentially slightly demotivating. So what we're going to do is have a look at another set of cards that I've made with this specific task in mind, and see how that could be perhaps even more beneficial for our learners. So this time I've created a set of cards called Names of Bones, and this is probably much more beneficial, much more suitable for the use of spell. And the reason that that might be the case is if we just look down here at the content, you can see on one side I've put the common names of the bones, and on the other side I've put the scientific and anatomical names of the bones, which clearly is what we want our students to be able to learn and to be able to spell correctly. So let's dive in and have a look at this.
Cranium.
You can see it gives me cranium. I've got skull there as the common word, and now I'm going to try and spell it. And now I've deliberately spelled that incorrectly. Let's see what happens, because this is a really great feature of this particular part of Quizlet. So I'm pressing return.
Cranium. C-R-A-N-I-U-M. Cranium.
So you could see there that it identified where the incorrect spelling took place. It removed that in the red and created the correct spelling with the green, and it gives me an opportunity to have another go. Cranium. Spine. Okay, I can probably do that one. Spine. Clavicle. Great. So collarbone, common word, clavicle. Anglers, clavicle. There we go. Is that correct? I'm not sure. Let's see what Quizlet says.
Clavicle. C-L-A-V-I-C-L-E. Clavicle.
Brilliant. So it's given me the correct spelling again. Clavicle. And that, hopefully, you can see is more beneficial now, particularly when there's key terminology that the exam boards particularly expect the students to be able to get spelled correctly.
Femur.
I'm just going to finish it off so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, now, so I've got my progress check when I finished. I had 4 unknown, 2 learned, 3 mastered. Come on. So these are the ones that are correct. It told me which ones were incorrect the first time round, that I spelled incorrectly, and so it gives you a little bit of feedback there, and in the option to continue, which I inadvertently hit there. So that, I hope you can see, is potentially a better way of using the spell feature in Quizlet for physical education.